and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing the end of month flip for my Louis Vuitton large ring or GM agenda. So as y'all know, this is my main agenda. I will have end of month flips for all of my agendas because I purchased 2 new agendas and added them to my system. And then I'll also be doing a updated planner stack / system video going over everything because I know a lot of people are kind of confused on what I'm using what for, what's going on. So I'll have these individual videos and then the planner stack video. So this one we'll talk about my main planner because I've been loving it and I don't think I've changed much this month. So let's go ahead and review. We have my inbox, of course. I mentioned this on the Plan With Me, but I have a lot of travel, as I've mentioned in many videos, going on, and so I've been getting lost on like what plane tickets have we bought, what hotels have we booked, what, you know, all of the different things that go along with travel. And so I just wrote everything out in this inbox system, and that's how I've primarily been using it, so that way I know where I'm at with like tickets and hotels and rental cars. So I have that. Also need to get my passport. So this inbox has been kind of used for travel. My reading log, I haven't been able to read. I started reading, of course, during the break and then during my practicum because I didn't have to study. But now that I've had to study and I've been having to read articles and write papers, haven't really been reading for fun. I kind of want to like just maybe every weekend carve out like an hour just to read because I do find it fun and it is relaxing to kind of like get my mind away from studying. So I think that'll be the goal. So I won't be reading as fast as I was, but I also might try and just maybe do like have a goal of 1 book per month, and that way if I have a goal I'll know I'll try and like stick to it. So right now I'm reading The Age of Innocence, which isn't too, it's not too long. For longer ones, like I think Emma's pretty long. I haven't read it in a bit. I might like maybe do like a month and a half or something like that, but I think I'm gonna have a goal of at least like 1 book per month, and that way I'll like carve out time to actually read because I have been enjoying it. So we have that. And then we get into the CEO tabs from Cloth and Paper. We have top 4 tabs, well technically 5 tabs in my schedule system. So we have the yearly overview, nothing's changed, still using this to track everything that needs to get done throughout the house in preparation to like spring cleaning, home organization, and then eventually hopefully moving next year. We have some vision / goals back here, but I've primarily been using the goals tab for that. Quarterly overview, which just tracks all the travel, off days, PTO days. And here is, I guess, the first quarter since we're wrapping up the first quarter. And this month it was just a new class ending, or new class starting, and then practicum ending. We have our monthlies behind the next tab. So here is the month of March. This is where all the plans initially come in. I just like using icons up here. Here's what the current months look like. So as y'all see, it's about to get fun. So we have that. And then we go into the weeklies. So we have my week on 2 page from Infinite Lotus. Still loving these. Stick around the first week of March. And then I've just been loving this setup and having like so much room to plan out my weeks. My planner has primarily been open on this section because this is where everything is for the week. So of course I have other planners in my system that, you know, I use for content, I use for like household things and lists and whatnot. So of course I'll use those, but like this is where all of the main pieces go. So I've been loving these inserts. Here is this current week that I'm filming, and then this video goes up during this week. Not too much really going on. Again, trying to stay home as much as possible. We are gonna have a barbecue this weekend, but I'll have that in my last Plan With Me for the month. And then of course we're prepping for April. So I did add travel dates to these little overviews just to be keep in mind like what's going on throughout the month. So we have those. And then we have my dailies. So took these out, added them back in, just because there are days where there's just a lot going on these have just been great for those days where I'm really busy and I just have a lot to do or have a lot just on my mind. Because really, that's when I use a daily, is when I just feel like it's an overwhelming day. I feel like there's a lot going on. I just need to write it all down, or I just want to write it all down. Like, there are some of these days where probably didn't really need it, but it was nice to have it, and I'd rather have that. So a lot of dailies in here for that reason. And I've just been loving this and being able to, you know, really break down days where I just honestly just feel overwhelmed. So that is the schedule section. We have the academic section, which hasn't changed, but here is the month of March. Full setup video on the channel for this current session, and already getting emails about residency in May for the next semester, so really looking forward to that. And yeah, we have that, very simple and to the point. I do think I will be adding another academic planner back into my system. Not yet, but probably by next semester, when I have to take quantitative research and we begin prepping for comprehensive exams, which will be in October, and then my dissertation, which will be next year, which is so crazy to think. But just keep an eye out for that. The Erin Condren academic launch is coming up, and don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I will be covering it, and so I will be using one of those planners to kind of go a little bit more in depth with these larger items that I have to do, or that I, you know, have in my program. So yeah, have that. So we will have some more supplemental plannings for this, but I do plan on keeping this because this is just my overview, right? Like, I love this. That's what I love about this planner, is everything that's important is in here. And then if I need something additional, that's when I'll bring in a different planner or a different system. But this is my overview that I can just reference everything. So that's the main purpose of this planner and why I love it so much. Next section is the home project section. Honestly, I've been feeling a lot of fatigue lately, and so haven't done much. I also, just like one weekend, my husband and I knocked out most of it. So once I'm like back into like the swing of things, I think that's when I'll do the next phase of home organization. I'm in no rush for this, right? So in full transparency, y'all know, like, we just re-signed our lease for another year, so we're not moving for at least another year, and I'm just getting way ahead of the curve, which I love. And it's also just nice to kind of like slim everything down, but I'm not in a rush, and so I'm not going to push myself to do stuff when, you know, I have plenty of time. But it will probably be in March once I'm just back into more of like a groove. I really just think it's, you know, I'm in week 2 now, or I guess week 3 of my new class. And so it's really just trying to readjust my schedule with this new class and getting back into a steady routine. So that's affecting everything. But we do have this, and I do have the inserts in here, so it's ready to go whenever I'm ready. And of course, I'll do a plan with me for those when it's time. We have the finance section, which again, nothing's changed. Also, kind of dropped the ball. I know I said that I would do budget check-ins. I have been doing the finance overviews. I just haven't honestly touched the budget planner. So I did like the initial setup at the beginning of the month, and I think that might be what I need to do in the finance overview videos, because it's just, again, during the middle of the month, I just feel like there's so much going on, and so it can get pretty overwhelming to do a lot of things. And so I might start including that in the finance overviews at the beginning of the month, and that way too, all I have to do is check in. It'll make it easier on me throughout the month when things get hectic. But here is the monthly overview for March. And then we have another top tab. So I divided a set of 4 in here, so that way everything needs its own tab. And so I do this in my personal a lot. So this first tab is really just to separate the schedule section out to have a section for my dailies. And then this next tab is to separate the 2 finance types of inserts. I have to have tabs. I can't have 2 different types of inserts behind each other that are important. As y'all saw with the inbox, I have that reading log with the inbox, and to me, like, those aren't important, but this would drive me crazy. Having these 2 together and not separated, it would just drive me crazy. But I have these variable bill inserts from May Paper Co., which loving these. These are so great for managing what's being paid off. And then I'm also managing extra payments. And then we move into the goals tab. So again, this is where I'm tracking all of my goals. I have my vision board and goal list that I created at the beginning of the year as a cover, which I'm loving. I just made this on Canva and printed on Infinite Lotus paper. And then we have the goal planner inserts from Infinite Lotus. And then we have the miscellaneous section, which is my content section. And so I have these project inserts from May Paper Co. I've been loving these for content creating. So what I've been doing is whenever I'm like content planning, I will go in and write all the videos that either pop into mind, I have a request for, or that I know I need to film, like for example, collabs. Like if I know I ordered something, I'm going to do an unboxing, stuff like that. I will come in and like write them down. And so as y'all see, there's a lot of blank spots because it's also just different ideas that I've had or again have been requested. And so that way I can go back and it's just a list of all these videos that I want to film, need to film, and then tracking if it's filmed, when it's scheduled, or when I should do, or when I should schedule it. And then whenever it's done, I do a little check mark. So I really like this. It's really nice to write everything out, have everything at a glance. And then in one of my medium ring agendas, I actually have like the schedule listed out in there. I kept it separate so it was easier to write things out, but loving this. And then this last tab is part of like the 4 top tabs is to separate these project inserts, which is a note insert. And so I have these from Hobby Lobby, they're Agenda 52, and this is literally just like a list full of like TikToks and real ideas. So something very simple that goes with the content creating. So that is my large ring or GM agenda. Again, loving this. It's my main planner. I think as y'all saw, I don't think anything really changed from last month. If I might have removed something from the finance. I think I had like something transaction or budget based in there, but that's just because I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I'm really trying to keep this as an overview. And I know I added these dailies, but that's just because I really wanted these dailies back in here. So yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching.